Hello, everybody. Welcome to my show. I'm Carl Waterstreet. I'm running for Door County Sheriff, and I just cannot get this mic right. I did it the other day with my live, and it's still not right. Anyway, um, I'm still a little perturbed about what happened yesterday and stuff, and it's just I don't know, doesn't sit well with me. But nonetheless, my wife reminded me. I gotta move my mic out of the way. I got my Do Better shirt on today, so. Um, People need to do better in life sometimes, and myself included. And I'm not perfect, nor will I ever pretend to be. But definitely, we need to do better out there, and we need to do better as a society, and really work harder on trying to um, recognize everybody else's beliefs and feelings and things like that, and understand consequences happen if there's you know actions out there that are going to be hurtful to other people. So we all need to do better. It's not just political parties or anything like that. It's just in life in general. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but nonetheless, it's just something we got to get done. But um, I am going to be starting something. I know it's Tuesday, but we're going to be starting like a Wisdom Wednesday type thing. I'm just doing this because I'm hoping to try and get out on Wednesday and Thursday door knocking again and get back in the swing of things again. So I'm recording this tonight for you, and or delivering it tonight for you, and instead of Wednesday. But what I'm going to start is a new batch of recordings called Wisdom Wednesdays. We only got a few Wednesdays left, and the election is August 11th for the primary. And so I'm going to take sections of each Wednesday and kind of break down my vision and my plan for what I'm going to deliver to you for Door County as Door County Sheriff. And I'm going to start tonight with the Door County Jail. So if you're not aware, our jail is one of the better jails. So our building was built in 2005 with the idea of uh, growth, and the architects of the building and the ideas that went behind the building are incredible, because we still have unused offices that are in place today, and the building was built in 2005. So you're talking 21 years later, this building looks almost brand new yet, and we still have offices available. But they built it with the future in mind. And so in lies our jail, and our jail is very clean. Between the inmate workers and the jail staff, there is incredible amounts of passion, I guess, put into keeping their areas clean and keeping, what they do. Some pride in that, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, and it's really good. And I'm sorry, this mic is just not working for me here, but. Nonetheless, we have a little bit of an issue in our jail, and the Peninsula Pulse asked some questions. The Door County Knock asked some questions, and between the two, I don't remember which one it was now at this point, but one of them asked, with the ever changing aspects of the jail and things like that. What are some of the ideas and stuff that are problems that you see in the future? And it's not even a future problem. It's our staffing, and the corrections side of things isn't necessarily viewed as one of the most sexy jobs. You don't see, corrections today, or live corrections. You see live PD, you see NCIS, you see Blue Bloods, which is all patrol and investigations and things like that. You don't see any, very seldom do you see any hit TV shows with corrections in it. And so it doesn't get the love that it should, because I've said it before, and I'll continue to say this. Every role in law enforcement has a definitive type of aspect to the safety of our community. And whether you're an investigator, you're a patrol deputy or patrol officer, or you're a corrections officer, you play a pivotal role in the safety of our citizens. So, a lot of times patrol responds to the incident, takes the necessary information that they need. They make sure that the incident is under control immediately. They make sure that whoever is victimized, that there's the victimization stops, and they ensure that the remaining public is safe. And they take that incident and they stop it there. They establish enough to build the case, and they either immediately lock up the person or they separate the situation. The case then moves to investigations, and then the case is carried on. In the meantime, when patrol does make that arrest to stop the victimization and stop the spread of evil that goes across whatever that incident is, the persons get brought to jail. And that falls in the hands of the corrections officer. And that corrections officer not only has to maintain the safety and the well-being of that defendant, but they're also maintaining the safety and the well-being of that victim. Because when you look at it from perspective, without that defendant out on the street, the victim can sleep better at night. The victim can go about their business. They can rebuild the life that was suddenly destroyed by whatever the victimization was occurred from. All meanwhile, that person is being held in jail. And whether it is a defendant or a victim or a witness or whatever, it's a loved one of somebody. So whether or not that crime was committed, how evil that crime was committed, murderous individual of kids, that murderer still has a family, still has a loved one that cares about them. You don't understand that from just working the road and arresting somebody. You learn that from investigating officer involved shootings. And trust me, it hits hard. And those that I've worked with that are watching this understand exactly where they're coming from. And they probably even nodded their head, because when you, no matter how evil that person is, whether or not that defendant was shooting at the cops or shot somebody and then took off and got involved in a shooting, if they died, that death notification to that family is devastating to that family. No matter how terrible an event that person has caused, they still had a loved one and they still, are traumatized by it. So you have to take that in consideration. So corrections officers need to be loved, and they need that representation, I guess, of being in a really tough spot, being locked around four walls all day long with these individuals. And sometimes they're not the easiest to deal with. And so they need the credit where credit's due. But nonetheless, one thing that we need to accomplish is trying to find ways to better that environment and better help the staffing issues that we do have. Now, it's not a far-fetched rule. If you look down in the Milwaukee area, in the Milwaukee metro area, what's happening right now with the fire departments all combining together, forming a Milwaukee Metro Fire Department with neighboring villages and cities, we can do the same thing. One of the major goals that I'm going to try and accomplish now, Kewaunee County is getting a new sheriff. I think I could even have a good enough conversation with the current sheriff. He was still, going to run for another term. And that's finding a resolution to their jail crisis that they have there too. We have about 135 bed jail. We are essentially licensed for 100, 110 inmates. We currently hold a inmate population of about 70, between 60 and 70. Sometimes it creeps up to 80. We currently house anywhere between 10 and 20 out of county inmates that we charge a various amount for, depending on what agency they come from and the agreements that we have in place. But nonetheless, we already house most of Kewaunee County's female inmates, and a lot of the other inmates, male inmates from Kewaunee County, end up going to Oconto or Brown County. So what only makes sense for us to do is to work together with between the new sheriffs and find a resolution that meets the needs of each other. The one resolution that I feel would easily meet the needs of both of us would be combining that resource. Kewaunee County, and by statute, you do have to have a jail. The sheriff does have to provide a jail. However, Kewaunee County right now does not have the cash laying around, at least from what I believe, to build a brand new jail. And they have to go back to the drawing board and relook at things. I think one aspect of that is to join our jails together. And we have a housing unit that we could break down for strictly Kewaunee County inmates. And in return, they bring staff up that improves our staffing levels. It helps their staffing issues. And both of us would be sitting pretty. We could share some of the costs based off of the contracts that we have, which ends up saving Door County taxpayers money, ends up saving Kewaunee County taxpayers money. And quite honestly, we're essentially, 15 minutes from the county line. Kewaunee County sometimes has to drive all the way to Green Bay, Brown County, or wherever. Their current jail could serve as a holding area until we have transport teams ready to go. I or we just meet at the county line. It's really not that big of a deal. Um, we do it now for their female inmates. Any as far as any court appearances goes or anything like that, anything could be done via Zoom. Most of what we do for our out of county inmates now right now is done with Zoom. So I don't see a real reason why we couldn't combine jails and share costs as a result of both of us being in a little bit of a crisis as far as staffing and with Kewaunee County being having no jail whatsoever. So one of my big proposals that I would do is trying to work together with Kewaunee County and try and merge those together. If that's not effective, we still are sitting at a real base minimum of about 70 inmates. If you start creeping up towards 100, it could get a little testy for the jail workers, the corrections officers, but we could increase revenue essentially and potentially maybe even to the point where we could try and hire and put a good basis of a recruitment effort together to hire more deputies in the jail, which would then ease up the burden in the problems that we run into there. Because, like I said in the beginning of this, the jail is one of the most unrecognized parts of our public safety system that we have out there today. And there's not a lot of love, and quite honestly, in this sheriff race, there was not a lot of talk about what are we going to do in this jail. So, if you go on my website, waterstreetforsheriff.com, you'll see a whole plan that I have laid out for the jail. I've had it up there since day one. I've kept them in my thoughts on how we can improve things every single day that we go about this campaign, and it's been up there. And again, like everything, it's been vetted, it's been talked about with county administration. It is doable if we can make the right partners agree to it. It's about the art of the deal. It's about trying to find a way to go about things that will make sense for both of us in negotiating that type of contract. So, any questions or anything? I just wanted to share a tidbit of Wisdom Wednesday, and we're going to continue doing this. Sorry, I know it's Tuesday, but we're gonna start moving this to Wednesdays and open up the door for you to learn more about what my plans are. I think we've done a fairly decent job at telling you who I am and what I'm about and my experiences and things like that. It's time to start diving into what I'm going to do for you and what it means with me if you elect me as sheriff. So, any questions, any concerns, carlforsheriff@gmail.com, waterstreetforsheriff.com, or reach me on Facebook at Water Street at Door County Sheriff. You can send me a message, email, hit me up however you want to do it. But I will be here to answer any questions you have. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Wisdom Wednesdays, and keep me in mind August 11th. Appreciate you all.